What happens when a young, fiery congresswoman steps into a courtroom and delivers a defense so powerful that even a no-nonsense federal judge is left speechless? On this day, Judge Richard Leon, known for his tough reputation, watched in amazement as Jasmine Crockett's words froze the entire audience. This wasn't just another legal argument, it was a moment that felt like history in the making. Imagine a courtroom where every word matters, where silence can feel louder than thunder. On this particular day, the audience sat still, waiting for routine arguments to unfold. But what happened next was anything but ordinary. The air shifted when Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, known for her fiery passion and sharp intellect, took the floor. She wasn't there to put on a show, she was there to defend her case with the kind of brilliance rarely seen in such settings. Across the bench sat Judge Richard Leon, a man respected for his deep knowledge of the law and his no-nonsense demeanor. He had presided over countless cases, listened to arguments from some of the best lawyers in the country, and built a reputation for never being easily swayed. Yet, on this day, even Judge Leon found himself leaning forward, drawn into every word Crockett delivered. Her defense wasn't just strong, it was magnetic. And as her words echoed through the courtroom, you could feel it, the audience was frozen, captivated by the unfolding moment. Before we dive deeper into that unforgettable exchange, let's pause to understand who Jasmine Crockett is and why her presence in that courtroom mattered so much. Crockett isn't just another politician or lawyer. She's a trained attorney, a congresswoman representing Texas's 30th district, and someone who has built her career on speaking truth to power. But beyond her titles, what makes her stand out is her authenticity. She doesn't hide behind carefully scripted words or political jargon. Instead, she speaks in a way that connects directly with people, whether they're in a courtroom, a town hall, or watching her on TV. She blends legal sharpness with the kind of real-world understanding that resonates with everyday Americans. Her background as a lawyer gives her the tools to dissect arguments, but her personality brings the fire. And that's what makes her so dangerous to opponents and so unforgettable to audiences. Now, let's turn our attention to the other key figure in this story, Judge Richard Leon. Over his career, Judge Leon has built a reputation for being tough, fair, and incredibly detail-oriented. He's known for his sharp questions, his ability to cut through distractions, and his firm grip on the courtroom. Lawyers know that when you stand in front of Judge Leon, you must come prepared because he won't be easily impressed. But that's exactly what made this moment with Jasmine Crockett so striking. As she delivered her defense, Judge Leon's expression began to shift. Instead of his usual stern, measured gaze, there was something else: curiosity, admiration, even a hint of surprise that he wasn't just hearing her argument. He was feeling it. He leaned in, studied her closely, and for perhaps the first time in a long time, found himself impressed not by the years of experience someone carried, but by the sheer brilliance, clarity, and confidence of a rising leader. It was more than an exchange of legal ideas, it was a moment where authority and fresh brilliance collided, and the sparks lit up the entire courtroom as Crockett continued. Her words carried a rhythm that made everyone listen. She laid out her reasoning with precision, cutting away the clutter and exposing the truth at the core of the case. Her tone was firm but respectful, passionate but controlled. The audience, which moments before had been whispering and shifting in their seats, now sat in complete silence. Every eye was on her. Every breath was held. You could almost hear the collective heartbeat of the room. And then came the moment no one expected. Judge Leon, known for rarely offering direct praise in the middle of a case, broke the silence. He acknowledged her brilliance, her clarity, her ability to simplify complex arguments, and the strength of her conviction. For a judge of his stature to openly commend a courtroom defense was monumental. It wasn't just rare, it was almost unheard of. But what made the moment even more powerful was Crockett's response. She didn't bask in the applause or let the praise rattle her. Instead, she smiled with calm confidence, thanked him respectfully, and stood tall as if to say, "I belong here. This is where I'm meant to be." That mix of humility and unshakable confidence sent chills through the room. It was more than just a defense, it was a declaration. A declaration that a new voice, a new force was stepping into the spotlight. So, why does this moment between Judge Richard Leon and Jasmine Crockett matter so much? because it represents something far bigger than a single courtroom exchange. It's about the future of leadership. It's about what happens when courage meets preparation, when authenticity collides with tradition, and when fresh voices rise to challenge established power. For Crockett, this wasn't just about winning an argument, it was about proving that her brilliance, her authenticity, and her courage belong on the biggest stages. For Judge Leon, it was a reminder that wisdom doesn't just come from years on the bench, it can also come from new leaders who bring a fresh perspective and unshakable determination. And for the rest of us, this moment is a lesson, a reminder that you don't need decades of experience or the highest title to earn respect. What you need is preparation, passion, and the courage to speak the truth even when the room feels intimidating. The courtroom may have returned to routine after that day, but the echoes of Crockett's defense and Judge Leon's rare admiration will be remembered for years. Because in that moment, greatness recognized greatness, and the future stood tall in the present.